Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday Westside Wellbeing with myself, Jamie. Today's session, we are going to be doing a Tabata session. So we're going to do 10 exercises. We're going to do 4 sets of each exercise. And what we're going to do is work to around 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off. So we can get that nice rest period in between each set. And as we work our way through the full range of muscle groups in the body, we're really going to increase our heart rate, increase our metabolic zone, so we can be burning calories for quite a long time after the session, and really work on our natural strength, just utilizing our bodies. So before we get started, we're just going to do a little bit of a warm-up. So we're just going to part the feet just outside shoulder width apart. Hands are going to come onto the hips, and we're just going to start with a small rotation through the hips, just so we can start to mobilize through the base of the torso into those hip muscles, especially through the hip flexors and the front of the hips and the glute minimus that runs around the base of the back and into the side of the hips. And we're going to do a few more rotations in this direction, and then from there I just want you to switch direction. So we just start to work our way back round. Nice. And we're just going to go 4, 3, 4, 2, and 4, 1. Nice. What we do is we're just going to rotate the feet back in so they're hip width apart, and we're going to go into the hamstring. So I just want you to hinge forward through the hips, and just keeping the back nice and straight. And just start to slide the hands down the shins. So just really lengthening through the hamstrings. Again, keeping that back nice and straight. As soon as you feel it start to round, feel yourself back into that level position. And nice, and just lengthening through the hamstrings. I want you to take a nice big inhale. And on the exhale, see if you can just take it that little bit deeper, keeping that back nice and straight. And we're just going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to slowly slide the hands back up. And from here, if you've got a wall next to you, or maybe a chair or another person, we're just going to go into the quadricep. So just lifting the heel up in towards the glute. By all means, if you want to just test your balance, feel free to remove the hands, maybe place it onto the hip, or take the arm out nice and wide, just so you've got that balance. Good. And we're just going to keep it in here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to release that leg, give that quadricep a little shake with the hand. We're going to take the left leg and then just start to squeeze that glute, that heel, in towards that glute. Again, feel free to take the arm out nice and wide, or onto the hip, use a wall or a chair or a human being if you're doing this workout with someone else. And we're just going to hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely stuff. We're going to release that leg, give both of the legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to take the arm across the chest and just squeeze through that arm just above the elbow. So we're really stretching through the shoulder, through the tricep a little bit. Nice. And for 3, 2, and 1, we're going to release. Give the arms a little bit of a swing. We're going to take the opposite arm across the chest. And again, just squeeze behind the elbow. And we're going to hold for 3, 4, 2, and 4, 1. And release the arms. Nice. Give the arms a little bit of a shake. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. And the first exercise we're going to go into some squat floor touches. The stance is going to be just outside shoulder width apart. And ultimately, you're going to hinge down at the hips, bring the fingertips to the floor, and then elevate ourselves back up. We're going to go for 30 seconds on, and then we'll have a pause for 30 seconds, and we're going to go for 4 sets today. So we're going to set ourselves, and in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Nice, so just trying to keep the torso nice and level, hinging down through the hips, bending through the knees. So we're really working into the quad muscles on the front of the thighs, into the glutes, and just getting a little bit of activation into the hamstrings as well. Good. By all means, if you want to take it that little bit further, a little bit deeper, you can close the hands into a fist and just take those repetitions that little bit deeper. We're going to go for 2 and for 1. Lovely stuff. Nice. Take a little moment. We're going to take 30 seconds. As we start to work our way through the repetitions and through the different movements, you're going to find that 30 seconds is going to feel that little bit shorter, simply because the heart rate's going to increase. And we're going to have utilised a lot more energy and a lot more muscles through the body. So we'll set ourselves into our second set. We're going to go in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Yeah, nice. So just a hinging through the hips, keeping that stance just outside shoulder width apart. As you can see, I've got my feet turned out slightly, not quite to 45-degree angles, but that just gives me that little bit more range of movement and comfort as I start to work my way through those squat repetitions. And we're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, good work everyone. We're going to take 30 seconds from here, and then we're going to go into our third set. Hopefully you've got a little bit of water with you today. So just throughout the session, if you need to just rehydrate, feel free to take a moment. Obviously we'll have those 30 seconds in between each set that we're doing, just to recalibrate, take a bit of water on board. So here we go into our third set. We're going to go in 3, in 2, and 1. Nice, hinging down through the hips here as well by pointing my feet out just less than 45-degree angles. That also allows me to activate and work into the adductors as well, that run on the inside of the thighs, really covering the muscle groups all the way through the top of the legs. Lovely stuff everyone. Nice. We're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, strong work everyone. 3 sets down. We're going to do one more set before we move on to our next movement. So you'll find your heart rate starting to increase a little bit here. So just start to focus in on your breathing. Nice big inhales, nice big exhales. Really taking that air and oxygen into the lungs. And we're going to go in 3, 2, and 1 into our fourth set of those squat floor touches. Again, just find a rhythm, find a tempo that works for you. Good. Nice, strong work everyone. Let's keep that there. Lovely stuff. Probably 5 more repetitions from here. We're going to go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, strong work everyone. Lovely stuff. Take a little moment. We're going to take 30 seconds. So the next exercise we're going to go into some alternate lunges. So feet will be nice and close together. We'll step out with the right foot, take it into that lunge, squeeze it all the way back, left foot out in front of you, and then take it down into that lunge. We've got about 10 seconds, so we'll set ourselves. Nice rush. Lovely stuff. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go for it. I like to put my hands onto the hips just because it gives me that little bit of balance. But by all means, you can use your legs and arms in sync just to allow yourself to create that momentum to get down towards the ground. And then lift it all the way back through. Good. Just trying to create those right angles into the legs. We're going to go for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice. Take a little moment. That's our first set done of lunges. We've got 3 more sets to go. We're going to keep the focus on the legs for the first portion of today's session. And then we'll slowly start to work our way through the body. And your heart rate should be increasing slightly by now, as you can hear mine is. And again, you guys haven't got to talk through each repetition. Leave that one to me. So we're going to set ourselves a few more seconds, feet together. And in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Nice again. So just opening up that stride, trying not to take it too far. Allow the knee to come down towards the floor and even touch the floor. No problem at all. And just working it from left to right. Yeah, nice work everyone. Let's keep that there. From here, we're going to go 4 more. We're going to go for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, lovely stuff. Perfectly timed. We're going to take 30 seconds. Then we'll take it into our third set of our lunges. By all means, feel free to take a little bit of water on board if you wish to. Focusing on your breathing. Nice big inhales, nice big exhales. Legs should be starting to feel nice and warm now. The rest of the body will start to increase in temperature as well. We're going to go into our third set in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. And again, just finding that range. No problem with bringing the knee down to the floor. All that means is you've just got to press that little bit further and higher. Really working it onto the tiptoes, on the back foot, planting that lead leg nice and strong. We're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice, strong work. Everyone take a little moment. I'm going to take some water on board here. So from here, we're going to add a little bit of mobility, a little bit of coordination, a little bit of balance as well. We're going to go into some forward kicks. All I want to do, but we're going to have to utilize that lunge movement that we've just done. So this time you'll stand nice and central into the mat. If we're using the mat, you'll take it back into that reverse lunge, but then when you come up, you're going to kick that leg out in front of you and then take it back. We're going to set ourselves. We're going to go in 3, in 2, and 1. We step it back, we kick it forward. Nice, we're going to stick to that one leg. We're going to do 2 sets on each side so we can just find that nice rhythm, working into the quads, the hamstrings and the glutes, extending through the hamstring as we kick it out, working into the hip flexor for 2 and for 1. Nice, strong work. Everyone take a moment, 30 seconds. This time for the second set, we'll switch it onto the opposite leg. So I'm going to be taking my left leg backwards and forwards into that kick. Just so we can keep it nice and balanced, not overworking one side and then having to overwork the other side. We got 5 seconds, so we're going to set ourselves. And in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go, taking the left leg back this time and kicking it out in front of us. This movement's really going to help you identify where the balance is, which side has that little bit more balance, a little bit more strength. If the kick feels a little bit too much as you squat, feel free to bring it into a knee drive instead. No problem with that. And we're going to go for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Whew. Strong work, everyone. Nice, really feeling that onto the legs here. We're going to do 1 more set on each. And then the next exercise, we're going to incorporate the whole body. Really increase that heart rate that little bit higher so we can really be decreasing that stress level. Working into the cardiovascular system, your natural strength system. Whew, here we go. We're going to go back to the right in 3, in 2, and 1. So we lunge it backwards, lift it up, kick that leg out in front of you. Really trying to point those toes as you kick away through that right leg. That way we're really extending, contracting into the calf. Good, strong work everyone, nice, almost there. We're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Nice. Take a little moment, 30 seconds. As you might be able to start to tell, that was 30 seconds rest. Start to work their way a lot quicker. As you can hear, it's got my heart rate going today. Starting to get a sweat on. You know, really utilising that body to benefit ourselves as we work our way through the day. And we're going to set ourselves in 3, 2, and 1. Back to that left leg, we lunge backwards, drive it up, kick it out if you wish to. Just find a nice rhythm that works for you, really focusing on that form and technique. So if you need to slow that right down, no problem at all. Yeah, testing that balance, stability, mobility, strength, a bit of flexibility as well. 4, 3, 4, 2, and 4, 1. Nice, good work everyone, that's our 4 sets done on our forward kicks and backwards lunges. Whew. Feeling that one today. Strong work everyone, nice. So the next movement we're going to go into is something we call a bear crawl. So how a bear crawl works, we're going to stand at the edge of the mat or just where you've got enough space to really work through the full length of the body. Because what we do is we bring the hands down to the ground. We're going to walk out through the hands, walk it back in, and then stand up nice and tall. If you have a lot more space, or in the gym that has a track, you can really elevate this and just keep walking all the way through. But today, within a smaller setting, we're just going to work backwards and forwards through the length of the mat, through the length of our body. So we'll set ourselves and we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So we're down, we walk it all the way out, walk it all the way back in. There is an option if you wish to add a push-in up in that position, but we are going to go into push-ups after these 4 rounds of bear crawls. So if you want to save the triceps and the chest for that next round, we're using and working through the body as it is on the bear crawls. We're going to go 1 more, walk it all out, walk it back in, and rest. Whew, strong work everyone, nice. Bear crawls are really going to increase that heart rate. Starting to really incorporate the upper body now before we transition into more of those upper body exercises and then working into the core as well today. We've got 10 seconds, so focusing on your breath. Nice big inhales, nice big exhales. 5 seconds, and in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. So we're going to walk it all the way out, nice and steady, nice and controlled. No rush with this one. And again, as you start to walk the hands back in, really bend through the knees, allow the hips to sink back over the heels. That way, we're saving a little bit of energy. And also, just taking some pressure off the upper body. We're going to go for 1 more. A little bit of a squeeze. We'll be working for 35 seconds here. And rest. Yeah, strong work, everyone. Nice. We'll reset that so we get that 30-second rest period here. 2 sets down in the bear crawls. 2 sets to go. Whew. Feel free to take a bit of water on board if you wish to. Where are we? We've got 15 seconds to focus on the breath. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. 10 seconds, so we'll just set ourselves into our 3rd set of those bear crawls. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So we're down, we walk it all the way out, find that range, start to walk it back, sink the hips right over the top of the heels as you start to walk the arms backwards, keeping everything nice and compact. That way we can really utilise the legs as well as we transition back into that standing position. We're going to go for 1 more, walk it all the way out, walk it all the way back in and up. Nice. Take a little moment, everyone, 30 seconds. Then we'll go into our 4th round. Oh, I love this stuff. Nice. We've got a good 20 seconds. We should be nice and warm now. Heart rate should be nice and increased. Starting to feel that bit of fatigue working through the body. It's amazing what your body can do. Not necessarily always requiring any equipment, just being nice and versatile with your movements. We're going to set ourselves, we're going to go in a final round for 2 and for 1 into that last set of bear crawls. Just working it all the way forwards through those hands, nice and long, working it back in, sinking the heels over the hips so we can get that nice controlled elevation back into that standing position. We're going to go for 1 last repetition. Walk it back in and up and rest, everyone. Nice. It works. So we're going to take 30 seconds. Next movement, as mentioned, we're going to go into our push-ups because we're going to be doing 4 rounds. By all means, feel free to bring it to the knees. We can still get that full workout and range of movement through the triceps and the chest, but make sure your glutes aren't pointing up towards the ceiling. Really pitch those hips forward so we're nice and flat from the shoulder down to the knees. That way we get that full range of movement so we're still working into those required muscle groups. We're going to set ourselves and we're going to go in 3, in 2 and 1. Nice. Hands just outside shoulder width apart or shoulder width apart, just so you can create those nice right angles as you bend and allow the elbows to come out nice and wide over the hands. So we're getting that nice full stretch across the chest, pressing through the triceps. We're going to go 1 more repetition and rest. Lovely stuff. Nice. First set of push-ups done. By all means, if you want to take it to that full press-up position where we're in that high plank position and working through that full range, no problem at all. But also, if you are into the knees and you just need a little bit more support, you can bring the toes down onto the ground as well. So we'll get ourselves in position. We're going to go in 3, in 2 and 1. We're into our second round of push-ups, so really transition the emphasis here into the upper body, giving the legs a little bit of a rest. Good, strong work, everyone. Nice 15 seconds. These push-ups might feel quite long for that 30 seconds because we're really isolating through the upper body. We're going to go for 3, for 2 and for 1. Nice, walk it back in, take a little moment, feel free to sit on the heels, stand up nice and tall. Take a bit of water on board if you wish to. Focus in on your breathing, nice inhales, nice exhales. We've got just over 10 seconds. Lovely stuff, so I'm going to slowly start working my way back into position. And in 3, 2 and 1 into our third set of those push-ups. Yeah, nice getting that full range again by taking it to the knees and keeping the hips nice and pitched forward. We're still able to get that full range of movement. Really feeling it through the chest and the triceps. Good, strong work, everyone. Nice, almost there. We're going to go 3 more repetitions. For 3, for 2 and for 1. Whew, nice, good work, everyone. I'm just going to bring it to the ground, let the blood flow back through the body as we make our way towards our 4th and final set of the push-ups. Really strong work, everyone. Working our way, lovely stuff. 25 minutes in. We've got 20 minutes to go. Really giving us that time to work through the full body. So we're going to set ourselves for our final round of push-ups. And we're going to go in 3, 2 and 1. Nice, keeping it on the knees or elevating it into that full plank press up if you wish to, or even sinking the toes down towards the floor just to give you that little bit more stability and coverage. Good, strong work, everyone. Nice. We're going to go for 3, for 2 and for 1. Whew. I should be really feeling that across those pectoral muscles into the triceps slightly. So the next movement we're going to go into some knee drives. So we're still going to be utilising the upper body in that static position. But from here, we're going to pull one knee into the centre line, take it all the way out, pull the opposite knee in, and take it all the way back out. Nice and steady, nice and controlled. I'm just going to shuffle this up slightly. So we're going to set ourselves, we'll come into that high plank position. And in 3, 2, and 1, let's go. Just pulling that knee into the centre line of the torso. The hands are shoulder width apart, nice and strong through that upper body. Just taking it from one knee to the other knee. We're going to go for 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Take a little moment, everyone. 30 seconds. Again, this is really going to help you develop that upper body strength, not necessarily having to put any movement through it, but just holding the body weight in the static position as you work your way through those knee drives. We've got 5 seconds. So we're going to start to set ourselves, take it into that second set. When we're ready, we're driving the knee in, extending it back out, and then driving that opposite knee in. Really try and pull that knee right into the center line of the body. So we're getting that nice contraction into the midriff. Yeah, lovely stuff. We're going to go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Whew, nice. Should be starting to get a nice sweat on now. Heart rate should be nice and increased, but it will start to level out at that intensity. From here, we're going to transition a lot more into the core, so that'll allow the body and heart rate just to sink down slightly. Whew. Good work, everyone. Let's keep it there. We're going to set ourselves. We've got 5 seconds into our third set of knee drives in 3, 2, and 1. We pull the knee in, drive it out. Pull the knee in, drive it out. Yeah, so just working that knee into that center line of the body. Strong work, everyone. Nice. Moving towards 20 seconds. So after this next one, we're going to go for 6, for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Strong work, everyone. 30 seconds. Really strong effort in there. We're going to go into one more set of our knee drives before we bring it down onto the ground. We're going to lie ourselves down. We've earned it, but we're still going to be working. Lovely stuff. Look at that. Let's have a look. 28 minutes here. Nice. Moving towards our last 15 minutes. So we're going to set ourselves 5 seconds. And in 3, 2, and 1. We're back in. Final round of those knee drives. Pulling the knee in, driving it back out. Pulling the knee in, driving it back out. Pulling that knee right in towards that center line of the body. So we're getting that nice contraction into the abdominal muscles. We're going to go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest, everyone. Nice, strong work. Whew, take a little moment. I'm going to take some water on board. Don't know about yourselves. We're really working our way through these movements today. The next few movements, we're going to be really focusing on that core. Like I said, we're going to have a little lie down for the next 2 movements, so to speak. Whew. So we'll just take a few moments here. Just allow the heart rate to decrease slightly. We're going to bring it down onto the mat or the carpet or the floor, just making sure we're nice and comfortable. Because this next exercise we're going to go into some knee pull-ins. So we've just done some knee drives. Whereas this time we're going to pull the knees in as we lay on the back. So we're going to take the hands either side of the torso. If we're to pitch them out at an angle slightly, just so we're nice and grounded, and it gives us that stability. And all you need to do from there is just pull both knees in and extend them back out. Feel free to rest the heels on the ground in between each repetition. If you want to keep the heels elevated, be my guest, I got no problem with that. So we've had a little bit more rest there. So we're going to set ourselves in 3, 2, and 1. We're just going to pull the knees in and then lengthen them all the way back out. Pull the knees in and lengthen it all the way back out. So here, just shifting the emphasis more into the base of the core. So working into those transverse abdominals that sit within the pelvis. Really working through our hip flexors as well. Extending through the glutes. We're going to go for 2 and for 1. Lovely stuff. Nice. Take a little moment. First set of our knee pull-ins done. Focusing on your breathing again, because we're laid down on the ground here. We're just moving through the hips ultimately, just working one part of the core really. It should just allow our heart rate to drop down a little bit before we bring it all the way back up. We're going to set ourselves in 3, 2, and 1 into our second set of those knee pull-ins. And by all means, if anyone wants to intensify this slightly, if you lift the chin in towards the chest, that's just going to get a little bit more of a contraction into those upper abdominal muscles. Working our way through the reps. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest. Nice 2 sets of our knee pull-ins complete. Just 2 more to go. While we're taking that rest period for 30 seconds, again, just allow your torso to really relax into the floor, focusing on your breathing. We've got just under 10 seconds, so we'll start to set ourselves. And in 3, 2, and 1, we're going to pull the knees in, extend them back out. Feel free to rest the heels on the ground in between each repetition if you wish to. Also feel free to rest the head onto the floor. If anyone wants to increase the intensity, we're going to lift the chin into the chest. But also if you want to lift the arms off the floor slightly, that's just going to increase that control and work through that core. We're going to go for 1 and for 2 and rest. Strong work, everyone. Nice. Really good stuff. We've got 1 more set of those. And then we're going to transition into some glute drives from here. So we'll keep it on the ground, but really working into the glutes. Really important area of the body to develop. We've got 5 seconds. So we're going to set ourselves the last set of those knee pull-ins in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Nice and steady, nice and controlled again. You can rest the head onto the floor if you wish to. Rest the heels onto the floor in between each repetition. And just those levels of intensity can be increased if you lift the chin into the chest. Keep the heels elevated off the floor. And if you really want to, elevate the arms off the floor. So we're really getting that nice contraction. We're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. And rest. Now this time I'm going to take a little bit of water on board before we move into our glute drives. Hope everyone's having a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful day, or wonderful evening or morning, depending on when you're joining us today. As always, we're here every Wednesday, 1 p.m. So where are we? There we go. Love this stuff. So for the next movement, we're going to go into some glute drives. So we're going to plant the soles of the feet onto the floor. Good few inches, probably a good foot away from the glutes. Hands are going to come to the side. And what I want you to do is think about driving those hips straight up towards the ceiling. Really engage into the glutes at the top end. And then slowly roll the spine back down onto the floor. So we're going to set ourselves when we're going to go in 3, in 2, and 1. So we lift the hips, squeeze into the glutes, and then try and roll the spine down vertebrae by vertebrae. So we're really working into that spinal mobility and spinal strength as well. We don't need to rush through these repetitions. We can really allow ourselves to have that control, and that gives us that opportunity to really squeeze into the glutes. We're going to go one more repetition, squeeze, and slowly roll the spine back down onto the floor. 3 more sets of our glute drives to go. We got 15 seconds to take a little moment. You've probably noticed your heart rate has decreased now, just because we've removed the intensity slightly and really put the focus or the intensity right into some individual areas of the body, which just allows the heart rate to decrease. We're going to set ourselves in 3, 2, and 1. We lift the hips up, squeeze into those glutes, and then roll it all the way back down onto the mat. Lift, squeeze, keep the glutes nice and engaged, and just slowly start to release the glutes as you start to roll down through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, really building into that glute strength. Our last repetition, and rest. Good work, everyone. Nice. 2 more sets to go. Again, the glutes are a really important area of the body to develop that strength. It really helps take the pressure off the lower back, really helps build into that core strength as well, so building into that natural belt that we all possess really does wonders for posture. Into our 3rd set in 3, 2, and 1. We lift, we squeeze, and then we slowly roll it all the way back down. We lift, we squeeze, and then we slowly roll it all the way back down. It's nice, strong work, everyone. We're going to go for 1 more repetition after this. We're going to lift and squeeze, and then slowly roll down through the spine and rest. Good work. 1 more set. So you might find as you've been rolling down through the spine, you're like myself, you start to just get a few air pockets, release and crack. And it's really about trying to roll that spine down, keeping that curve and just allowing it to flow all the way back down onto the mat. We're going to go into our final set. We've got 5 seconds, so just start to prepare yourself. And we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. We lift the hips, squeeze into the glutes. Keep the glutes nice and contracted, then just slowly start to release that contraction as you start to roll down through the spine. Lift, squeeze, and roll back down. We're going to go for 2 more repetitions. We lift, we squeeze, we roll back down. Last one in the glute drives. Lift and squeeze, and then roll it all the way back down. Nice, strong work, everyone. Pull the knees in while we're here and just really squeeze them in. That's just going to lengthen out through the glutes slightly to release any tension from the contractions. You can lift the chin into the chest and give yourself a real squeeze and rest. Nice, so from here, we're going to keep the work into the core and we're going to go into some cycle crunches. So that's where we're going to be laid down on the ground. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us. We're going to take the fingertips just to the side and towards the back of the head slightly. I don't want you to interlock the fingers. I don't want you to pull through the neck. I want all the abdominal muscles to be doing the work here. So as you start to lift one knee and bring the opposite elbow to the opposite knee and then take it all the way back down. You can rest the heels onto the ground in between each repetition. But also if you want to keep the heels elevated, feel free to do so. That's just going to increase that intensity slightly. And you can alternate between resting the heels and lifting the heels. We're going to set ourselves. We're going to go in 3, 2, and 1. So we just bring the left elbow to the right knee, nice and steady, nice and controlled. This doesn't have to be a fast movement. The slower, more controlled you go, the more intense that contraction's going to be. Really working into those abdominal muscles, across the stomach wall, into the obliques slightly. We're going to go for 2 more, for 2, and 4, 1, and rest. Nice, first set of our cycle crunches done. We're going to do 3 more. I've treated you today. We've been laid down on the ground quite a lot towards the back end of the session. Really working into those targeted areas there, those smaller muscle groups, especially the ones that surround the core, that really help with that development and taking pressure away from the lower back. We're going to set ourselves in 3, 2, and 1. Left elbow to right knee, open all the way out, and then take that right elbow in towards that left knee, and then just working from side to side, activating into the obliques that run down the side of the torso, and just contracting into the abdominal muscles, working across the stomach wall. We're going to go for 2 and for 1. Whew, really feeling that contraction and work into the core. 2 sets down, 2 sets to go. Really working our way through today's session. Strong work, everyone. Really put a lot of emphasis into the legs, then took it into the upper body. Now putting a lot more focus into the midriff and core. We've got 5 seconds, so we're going to start to set ourselves. And in 3, 2, and 1, we're into our 3rd set. Opposite elbow comes over towards the opposite knee. Just using the fingertips on the back of the head. Just rotating across the torso. Not trying to pull the head at all. We don't need to pull through the neck. We can still get that full contraction. Working just across the body. We're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. And rest. Nice. You should be really starting to feel that into those abdominal muscles now, especially the top 4 abdominal muscles. Probably feeling it down the obliques slightly. And again, just feeling that tightness across that stomach wall. We've got just over 10 seconds, really focusing on that breath. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. As we move our way into our final set of those cycle crunches in 3, 2, and 1. Opposite elbow comes in towards the opposite knee. Again, feel free to rest the heels down onto the ground in between each repetition. You're still really going to feel that contraction and work into the abdominal muscles. If anyone wants to really increase that intensity, keep those heels nice and elevated. If you wish to, we're going to go for 3, for 2, and for 1. Whew, can feel that. We're gonna sit ourselves up. Feel free to take some water on board. We've been down on the ground for a good few minutes now. So we're just gonna carefully stand ourselves back up. Just move around slightly, just allowing ourselves that moment or two just to let the blood flow back through. We're going to go into one more exercise here, a little bit more of a mobility exercise, but it's also going to work the hamstrings, the quads, but primarily the adductors slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into some sumo squats. So we're going to open up the stance nice and wide, not as wide as you can, but reasonable, good distance outside of shoulder width apart. We'll point the feet out at 45-degree angles. And all I want you to do from here is think about sinking the hips all the way down to the ground and then lifting them back up. You don't have to take it all the way down to the ground, obviously. That's a little bit too extreme. Just find that range. Make sure, see if we can get in line with the knees and then back up. But again, this is not a military boot camp. Find that range, find what works for you. Nice and steady, nice and controlled. We're going to set ourselves. We're going to go in 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hinge down at the hips and lift it back up. Hinge down at the hips and lift. As you lift into that starting position, really squeeze into those glutes. Again, this is really going to build primarily into the glute minimus. So making sure we're squeezing into the glutes will release the tension from the lower back. Really working into the adductors, your quads, into those hamstrings. One more repetition. And rest. Good work, everyone. Nice. 3 more sets of those sumo squats. Just finishing with a little bit of a leg blast at the end. And then we are all done for today. Really strong work on today's Tabata session. We've got 10 seconds. Whew. Good work, everyone. So, in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. I like to bring the hands out in front of me. It just keeps everything nice and controlled through that center line of the body. It allows me to bring the elbows in between the knees as well. Really working through that range of movement into the hips and developing into our glutes, especially the glute minimus, working through our adductors, our hamstrings, bit of the quads. We're going to go for 2 and 4. 1. Nice, strong work, everyone. We'll take 30 seconds. We've got 2 more sets to go. And then we can carry on with our day. Feeling a lot more refreshed, hopefully a bit more energized, definitely a lot less stressed, and just feeling that sense of accomplishment of getting a really good body weight workout in. We're going to set ourselves, I've got you running over time here, got a little bit of extra working out of you today. We're going to go in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Nice. So just sink the hips down, lift the hips up. Nice and steady, nice and controlled. Really pressing through the heels as you drive that torso back up. We're going to go for 4, for 3, for 2, and 4. 1. Nice strong work, everyone. Love this stuff. 1 more set. Really getting in nice, moving ourselves closer towards a 50-minute workout today instead of 45 minutes. No danger there. Strong work, everyone. Stick with me. We're going to take 15 more seconds rest, 30 seconds more work, and then we've really done a fantastic job today on covering the full range of muscle groups in the body. We're going to set ourselves. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. We'll sink the hips down, lift the hips up. Sink the hips down and lift those hips up. Nice, making sure we're squeezing into those glutes at the top end. Really allow the weight of the torso to sink down in between the knees. We're going to go 4 more repetitions. For 4. For 3, almost there. For 2, last push. For 1, and rest. Whew. Good workout today, everyone. Nice, really strong work. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us for another Wednesday Westside Wellbeing. Really got me going there as well. Nearly struggling to get my words out. Have a fantastic afternoon, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.